let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
The history of America is the history of people who have fought for freedom and justice, people of courage and principle, of boldness and commitment, who fight for what's right. Since our founding, AFSCME members in thousands of communities have fought for the promise that is America. Fighting for fair wages, civil rights, better working conditions, retirement security, and health care. Fighting for the right to have a union and for a better life for themselves, their families, and workers everywhere. And when it comes to fighting for justice, AFSCME has always been at the forefront, leading the way.
"66 years ago, my father, Bill McEntee, led a strike of city workers in Philadelphia to fight an unfair wage freeze and layoffs of city employees. It was indeed the first strike of its kind. But breaking new ground and fighting for what's right is what our great union has always done.
In 1936, Wisconsin state employees, fed up with political patronage, broke new ground by organizing the first AFSCME union. But that was only the beginning. They won civil service protections. They improved the quality of public services. They raised their standard of living. And they fought injustice wherever they saw it.
Public employees were in a very low esteem. We had one week vacation a year. As I said, a 72-hour week. I was active almost from the beginning. I would go to those places where we didn't have unions, promoting the idea of better working conditions, wages, and fair treatment to attract people into the union.
They didn't realize it then, but they launched a movement to organize public employees everywhere.
They have a heck of more respect now than they had back in those days.
In the 1950s, New York City workers organized and did more than grow our union. They added a new sense of militancy when they won recognition and brought collective bargaining rights to workers in the biggest city in America.
As we grew as a union, it wasn't just the wages and hours and working conditions. You have to fight with knowledge and understanding and commitment and sacrifice. These are the things that makes for a good warrior.
As AFSCME grew, so did our commitment to justice. The struggle of Memphis sanitation workers for safety, respect, and fair pay mobilized our entire union and touched the conscience of the nation.
1,300 sanitation workers decided it was tired, it wasn't going to take no more. And that's what we did, we walked out.
Their fight was about wages and working conditions. It was about dignity and respect and civil rights. And it was about a whole lot more. They went out on strike for everybody.
The fight for justice was fierce and costly.
And I've seen the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
It's just like you lost a member of your family. So we stood up with men and we got something done. We got our hours and working conditions, we got a contract, and everything was a whole lot better.
In Pennsylvania, our biggest enemy was fear. City, county, and state employees were afraid they'd be fired for just talking to a coworker or a union organizer. But the people combined the power of organizing and the power of political action to become a real force in Pennsylvania and across the country.
In the 1970s and 80s, we used our political power to win collective bargaining rights in state after state after state. And AFSCME grew. It was a new era of organizing. Today, the spirit of Memphis is alive in campaigns large and small. Sanitation workers in Richmond, Indiana battled for 2 long years to win recognition and a first contract.
It doesn't make any difference if it was 1960 or whenever, or 1990. People still fighting for what's right.
Today, AFSCME is the most politically powerful union in the country, electing public officials who support us.
We were able to organize state workers, and that would have never happened if we hadn't elected a pro-worker governor, Governor Richardson.
Just like AFSCME members before them, Puerto Rico's public workers are using political power to grow their union.
Here in Puerto Rico, the salaries without the contract were very poor. Now we have more benefits.
Now with this contract, we have a better way of life.
With the challenges we face, we must do even more to elect those who support us. We must continue to take back our government one legislature at a time, and take back the White House. Take back America.
The AFSCME family has never walked away from a struggle for fairness and justice.
We must fight the politicians who attack public services and public employees. Fight the budget cutters. Fight the privateers. Fight for even better contracts. Fight for the right to organize. Fight to put people and public services first.
Public services, health services, and the jobs of our members who provide them are under attack. That's why we need to fight even harder, reach out to every unorganized worker to join us, increase our political power so we can protect our jobs and the gains we've won.
Growing. Fighting. Winning.
I stand before you with a strong, united union behind me to declare victory.
AFSCME in the 21st century. The largest, fastest growing union of public service workers. 1.4 million members strong. Fighting for what's right. Fighting to build AFSCME into the greatest union in America.